What's going on, Warpath fans? What's up? How's it going? I'm going to teach you guys today how you can get the best start in Warpath. What you'll do is you'll want to make a jumper roll. Rolls in this game are another word for bases, or accounts. You'll want to make a jumper roll, which means you will start off in a fresh city. Let's see, I have a new roll right here that I can jump over to show you something. So you'll make a jumper roll, which means you'll join a fresh city. You'll power up to level 11. Don't level up past level 11. You have to be level 11 or under in order to use your starter pass, which will allow you to jump to your final destination city once you're ready. And so you'll spend your first about 8 to 10 days powering up, scouting the map, collecting plunder, which you will find by scouting the fog on the map. Plunder will give you gold. You'll also find abandoned warehouses, which will give you production materials as well as other things, and military maps. When you find the military maps, save them up for your final destination city. You can also decide to save them up for even the city beyond that if you plan to go to a level 2 city, but I recommend you can just use them in the city that you end up jumping to. That's what I did. So the way that you get commander experience and level up your commander level in this game is by upgrading your buildings. Here's my commander level right here, level 22. The way you level that up is by constructing buildings, but which buildings should you construct? Well, if we look at our barracks, we can see all of the breakpoints. For example, at level 4, there's a breakpoint where your barracks capacity will increase from 6 to 9. Meaning, for example, if you have infantry in that barracks, you'll have 6 infantry at level 3. Once you level that barracks up to level 4, now you'll have 50% more infantry in your infantry march, going from 6 to 9. So your march will get much stronger then. So you can level up all of your barracks to level 8 would be a good level to stop at. And then if you're not even at level 11 at that point, then you can level them up further. But the buildings that you want to prioritize before you jump would be, most importantly, probably your engineering center, because pumping out production materials constantly is extremely important. And you can do that more effectively if you level this up more. You can level up your airport a little bit. It won't contribute much towards your commander level, which is a good thing. So you can pump levels into that, and that will result in you getting more scout planes and faster scout planes. So a good breakpoint to stop at for this would actually be level 4. You don't unlock your next scout plane until level 13, so you won't be able to get that before your jump. So you can stop at level 4, but if you have wiggle room to upgrade more buildings without getting to level 12 commander level, you can upgrade this building more to get additional scout speed, which is handy. It will help you a lot because there is just about infinite fog, it feels like, and you'll be scouting for days and days and days, and you'll still have tons of fog to go, and you'll be surprised. So getting scout plane speed is definitely a good thing to have. Not a top priority, but like I said, it doesn't give you much commander experience, so you can afford to level that up without hitting level 12 before the jump. You're going to need to level up your research center. It's going to make your researches go faster. Every time you level this up, you're going to get increased tech speed. And at certain breakpoints, you will get extra the ability to perform the research that allows you to get additional collection convoys and T2 units and stuff. So you'll need to level that up. The way the buildings work in this game is you will have buildings that you'll want to prioritize, like your barracks, but you'll get them to a certain point, like level 18 or whatever, and then it'll say, in order to upgrade this further, you'll need a higher commander level, which means you'll need to level up different buildings. So you can't really prioritize one building and neglect the rest. The way it'll end up working out is that all of your buildings will kind of level up in unison, since you can't level up buildings beyond a certain point without leveling up other buildings, you know. But with that being said, you can still prioritize. You can level up your barracks first, and as well as your engineering center. And those are really the ones that you want to focus on. You can neglect your airport a little bit. You can kind of neglect your research academy a little bit until it gets to the point where you need to level it up in order to continue your research. You'll have to level up your command center. Um, it'll give you a lot of commander experience. So if you're, pay attention to how much commander experience this is giving you, and definitely don't level it up if you're like level 11. It'll give you a ton of experience, and you'll unlock additional airdrops once you level this up more, which will give you components, I think maybe ammunition sometimes, and a bunch of resources and stuff. We can check out this airdrop right now just to give you a look at kind of what you can kind of get from these. It's kind of a lot of resources, and components are very, very important. Components are very important. They will increase your march powers by a lot. So even a little bit of components is very valuable. You'll always want to level up your buildings and perform researches, etc. when there's the appropriate jurisdiction event. You can go over here on the top right, click the events page, and go to jurisdiction. There's a new jurisdiction every 4 hours. So you always want to... So for example, right now, the current jurisdiction is for building power and tech power. So I don't want to perform any building construction or research upgrades until this jurisdiction is available, and I want to get this jurisdiction to level 2. I want to get 75,000 points so I can unlock the second chest. That's going to give you 5 universal components, which means you only need to do this with 10 different jurisdictions 10 times to get 50 of those universal components. 50 of those is going to give you a guaranteed 5-star unit. So it's very important to do your jurisdictions. Whenever you can get a jurisdiction to level 2 or the second chest, do it. But also there's times like when the Grand Showdown event is active, you want to skip out on all of the jurisdictions, unless if you're a spender, then you can just keep going. But when the Grand Showdown becomes available, then you want to start saving everything, and a week before the Grand Showdown becomes available, it'll display that Grand Showdown will be available in a week from now. So once you see that, stop your jurisdictions and save everything for the Grand Showdown event. And in that event, there's going to be the Grand Showdown event lasts for 7 days, and there's all types of different events within the Grand Showdown, which are basically it's basically the same thing as jurisdiction. It's just jurisdiction on speed. So I'm over here on a random role that I created to show you the starter pass. It looks like this. You'll be able to use it for 10 days when you make a new role. So you'll power up for 7, 8, or 9-ish days. You don't want to wait till the last day because a new city might not pop up that day. You'll want to be keeping your eye out on the new cities. So you can come over here to options and then roles, create a new role, and you'll be able to see all of the cities. You can see there's a new city right here, Catania, that just opened up 45 minutes ago. I would pick this city right here if I was ready to jump, if I had been powering up for the past 8 or so days and I was level 11. I had a bunch of production materials saved up. I had scouted a bunch, and I have a bunch of military maps and everything. Then I would be ready to go, and I would jump to Catania using my starter pass. So every day you want to go here and just take a look at the cities, try to figure out when new cities go up. And in my experience, I mean, I don't know, maybe you can figure out the code, but in my experience, they just come up at random times. Sometimes one will come up at 2 a.m. Sometimes one will come up right after reset. Sometimes one will come up they seem to just come up at random times. So just keep your eye on this page, and especially when it's coming up to you've spent 7 days on your role, 6, 8 days on your new role. Definitely keep your eye out on these cities, and you want to try to get, especially if you have a jumper squad that's jumping with you and you're going to create an alliance in the new city, you really want to try to get into into your final destination city like the first hour. I noticed a new city like in the first 2 minutes, and I just got really lucky. I just happened to take a look at this page when a new city just popped up like a minute ago. And then it took me a little preparation time, and we ended up jumping, I think, within the first hour or two of the new city opening, which was ideal. So in that case, you'll be the first group to get in there and get your alliance up and running. So every time a new player in that city gets to the point where it's time for them to pick an alliance to join, they only have one option. So they're joining your alliance. So that's a huge advantage right there for you. But anyway, before you're ready for that, you need to just go through your chapter objectives. They'll tell you a bunch of good stuff to do to power up more. And a little tip for that is once you build your research academy, which will be right here, you'll want to go into your military tech first. You'll want to unlock tier 2 Camp Liberty units, which will be on the left side of the tree. So you'll have to go shallowly into the military tree. It's not too deep, but then once you get that, once you unlock your tier 2 Camp Liberty units, go back over to the industrial side of the, go back over to the industrial research tree, and then just go down there. If you're spending in this game, go over to your arms deals and subscribe for $10 a month. That'll unlock a second research queue, so you can keep military tech and industrial tech going simultaneously, which will help very, very much. So here we are on my main role. As you can see, the tier 2 Camp Liberty research that I was talking about is not very far down the tree. It's just 3 rows down. You unlock compulsory national service, and then I believe you have to get all of these to level 1 or maybe level 2, and then you can get right to arms. The reason you need to get that is because it's one of your chapter objectives. If you don't do that, then you'll get stuck on your chapter objectives and you'll get slowed down a little bit. So do that right away. And then focus on your industrial tech. Like I said, if you spend on the, what is it called? Right to arms? Whatever the subscription is called, then you get your second research queue. So at that point, then it doesn't matter much, because what I do in that case is I have 1 industrial research and 1 military research always going, so I don't really have to focus on one or the other. I can just do both. But if you don't have that right away, maybe you'll plan on getting it later. I do recommend it highly, but if you're not going to get it, or if you're not going to get it just yet, then after you get your tier 2 Camp Liberty, just go over to industrial. You'll want to unlock either, it doesn't really, I guess this one first. That's what I ended up doing. But you'll end up unlocking both of these, rubber industry and steam power. And then you'll just keep going down. Don't max any of these out. Just get them as high as you need to get them to unlock the next row. And then eventually later on you'll go back and max them out. Because you want to get farther down the tree so that you can get your additional collection convoys, and you can unlock level 4 mining sites, level 3 mining sites, level 6, and whatever. So one of your objectives as a jumper is going to be to get to campaign level 1-20, which will unlock your rush, which will allow you to collect 2 hours of rewards. Be sure to always collect your rewards at least once every 12 hours, because if this timer hits 12 hours, you will stop accruing rewards, and you don't want that, of course. So always collect your rewards. If you're having trouble completing a mission on the campaign, of course, level up your units. Give them additional parts if you have them. Modify them using components. And don't feel wary to upgrade your units, use your components, use your parts and all of that, because you can always go to disassemble, choose, well, first you'll need to unequip your march, and then you can go over to your engineering center. You can go to disassemble, unit restoration, and if you restore any of these units, it'll only cost 20 gold, which is basically free. Don't even sweat that 20 gold, it's nothing. You'll get all your components back, all your ammunition, all your arms experience, all of your parts. You'll even keep your unit, so you can always restore your unit back to level 1 and invest all of your stuff into any other unit that you want. So don't be weary to level up your units to get farther in the campaign. You can always switch them up. So in like Rise of Kingdoms, if you were making a jumper, you would save all of your resource items. But in this game, when you get attacked by people, they don't end up stealing your resources. So if you get resource items and you want to use them, just so you know exactly how much resources you have, so you know which resource you actually should be gathering on the map, then you can always just use your resource items, no problem. Because keeping them in your inventory isn't keeping them any safer than using them. Always keep your engineering center producing production materials, of course. I don't think that really needs to be said, but one tip here is that you will get a ton of wood. Just by hunting ravens on the map, you'll get whatever resource you're going for, and then a lot of the time you'll get wood planks as extras, and so you'll end up, or at least I ended up with like thousands and thousands of wood planks without even trying to go for wood. So unless you need wood right now to upgrade a building, I wouldn't recommend you produce wood, and even then, in that case, you can just go hunt a wood raven to get a bunch more wood. So prioritize making bricks. Once you end up leveling up your engineering center a bit more, you're going to unlock cement, and you'll unlock also additional workshops within your engineering center. So this is the first workshop right here. I'm producing bricks in it right now. Eventually I'll unlock workshop 2, so then I can be producing 5 sets of bricks, or 6 sets of bricks, and 6 sets of whatever else I want. And you'll even unlock a 3rd workshop and a 4th workshop. And this is what my engineering center currently looks like on my main role. I use 1 workshop to create bricks, another workshop for cement, another one for I-beams, and another one for asphalt. You can switch up your bricks workshop to wood if you really need to sometimes, but like I said, you'll get a lot of wood from just hunting ravens and from random things. The most important thing to do as a jumper account is to join a jumper squad or make your own. You can create your own alliance in the first city that you end up in, and you can put in your description, this is a jumper squad, join if you want to jump with us. You can advertise in the city chat, I've got a jumper squad who wants to join, or whatever, or I'm looking for a jumper squad. If you do this alone, I feel like it's a waste of time. You need to get a jumper squad to come with you. It's going to help a lot. It's going to make a huge difference. When you land in your final destination city, you want to create an alliance, and you want that alliance to hopefully be as close to rank 1 right away as possible. That's going to result in everybody in that city wanting to join your alliance, which is going to make it difficult for you to not be the rank 1 alliance at that point. It wasn't that easy for me. When I did this, I made a jumper squad, and I only ended up getting about 5 people in my jumper squad. So if you're having a hard time getting people in your jumper squad, don't get discouraged. It is difficult to do, and you're probably not going to get a lot of people to come with you, but even just 1 or 2 people is going to make a big difference, because when you first make that alliance in the new city, you got 2 jumpers with you, and all 3 of you are all powered up, and it's going to make your alliance probably the rank 1 alliance, unless there's another jumper squad doing the same thing. If you're not interested in that, you can just make a jumper by yourself and then end up joining the rank 1 alliance in your final destination city. But I think you'll be way better off if you end up making a jumper squad in your first city, or joining one and then all jumping together. It's going to be way more effective. So let me share with you my experience for what it's worth. So maybe that'll kind of make you understand a little bit more how it can go. Of course, everybody's experience is going to be a little bit different, of course. But anyway, for me, when I when I ended up jumping to my final destination city, so I had about not even 5 people in my jumper squad, I believe. We made our alliance, and we were like, okay, in the very beginning we were rank 2. IBR was rank 1, and they were way stronger than us. They were like an actual jumper squad with like 10 people or more, or I don't even know, but they were way stronger than us. And then so that was day 1. Day 2, we went down to rank 3, and then we stayed around rank 3 and rank 4, and we continued to kind of go down. We were like 5, 6. We were jumping up to rank 3, falling back down to rank 5. Sorry, excuse me. But I stuck with it. I was very determined, and as long as you are determined and you stay focused, even if you don't become the rank 1 alliance as soon as you land in your final destination city, you can still end up being rank 1. Like, IBR was so much stronger than us. They were 20 million power above us, or maybe even a little bit more than that. Now look at us. We're double their power, just about, almost. We're like 75% larger than they are. If you're trying to go for rank 1, if you're trying to make an effective jumper squad, if you don't end up rank 1 immediately, you know, don't get discouraged. It's not the end. Ranks jump all over the place. The ranks right now don't look anything like they did when we first started, not even remotely. So, you know, don't get discouraged if you're not rank 1 right away. You're not always going to be rank 1. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, the best way to let me know is by leaving a nice comment down below, and don't forget to also subscribe.